Today we're speaking with George Baker and Sue Schneider Baker, the corner of Brown's Corner and 522 on the Monroe side. And we're very happy that Mr. Baker decided to sit and talk and reminisce with us about his life in South Brunswick. Mr. Baker? Your dad?
My dad was William Baker, and they moved to the farm about 1900. And we lived there after they were gone. My brother Raymond had the farm until recently.
Was that the farm on Route 130 and George's Road?
On 130, yeah.
Mr. Baker, before when we started the tape, you spoke about living at a brick home
That was
by the Dykers.
Father's place, yeah.
Right.
Father place.
Right.
And that goes back quite a ways.
Okay, let's see what we can find
And that
out.
was located again?
You know the Dean's Pond?
Right.
You know the road that goes back under the railroad?
Through the hole in the wall?
Where Fred Dyker used to live?
Yes.
That's where they came from. Then my uncle Henry farmed there until he retired. And then Fred Dyker took over.
That's exactly what that's the history of that farm.
Yeah.
As far, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you say that you believe that the Brophies farmed there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my father moved to about 1900.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your dad's parents, did they come from this area originally?
My father was born in Piscataway Township. And from there they went to Milltown and then to the Dean's Pond.
Okay, they're doing I believe they're doing a celebration in Milltown. I don't know which year.
Mm-hmm. Now, how many brothers did your dad have?
He had two brothers, Henry and John Baker.
Mm-hmm. Did they stay on the farms, or did they move away?
They all had farms. They all had farms.
In South Brunswick?
Yeah, my father, Uncle John had the farm in Fresh Ponds where the nursery is now, where Griffin Scotty's nursery. He had that farm.
And the old house back there, or did he build?
They built a house there.
Yeah.
Pierre lives there now.
That's on
Pierre.
Fresh.
That's where Pierre Habertros lives.
Yeah, Pierre rebuilt it.
You're now living there. Wonderful.
Those houses were built about 1914.
What kind of farm did Uncle John run? Was he a dairy farmer like Uncle Raymond?
He had just cows and general farming.
Mm-hmm. Did he truck anything to the city, or
Oh, I
just
guess
use it locally?
they took their stuff to the city. My father used to go to New Brunswick once a week with eggs and whatever else he had.
Mm-hmm.
Drive to New Brunswick, peddle them. He had customers, and he'd take eggs, chickens, cabbage, potatoes, anything like that that they had. Go to New Brunswick once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back the groceries.
Did you go with him?
I never went with him till I drove him later in my car.
Okay. So he went by horse and
Oh yes.
horse and wagon.
For years. Then in the latter part, I used to take him in my car.
And what type of car was that? Or a truck?
I had a Chrysler Roadster, 1927.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were farming with plowing and everything with the horses.
Oh yes, everything was horses.
And did you plow with the horses, or?
Not very much.
Mhm.
Not very much. I don't remember plowing, I remember harrowing and but carting hay and stuff like that. I don't remember ever plowing.
And where did you go to school?
Well, Dean School was 2 rooms, it's still over there.
On what road?
You know the place, it's right next, you know where my brother Lehman lives?
Mhm.
Well, the schoolhouse is across the road, the first
Mhm.
building up there. It's a 2-family apartment now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Went to school there, there was 2 rooms, and I think we had about 80 kids in there.
Really?
Yeah,
What grade levels?
they went from 1 to 8, and then in the latter years, when I was in 7th and 8th, they carted us to Dayton School.
You went by bus?
By bus, for about the first bus that it was.
Do you
Oh,
remember who the bus driver was? Who had the
T.M. Applegate had
Applegate?
T.M. Applegate had the bus.
And was he from
He was from Dayton.
Dayton?
Yeah, we went to Dayton School.
Was it one of those truck buses or was it a horse-drawn bus?
No, it was a Ford. One of the first Ford buses, I guess. I remember when we was in Dean School, about the first automobile came around, the county superintendent, old Dr. Willis, came around with a car. That was about, when I was about 10 years old, that'd be about 1915.
Now,
He come around with the car, that was the first one I remember.
were you very interested in cars?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you saw the first one in the area.
when I grew up, I was interested in cars.
A lot easier than working a horse.
Uh,
A lot easier than working a horse.
A lot easier than working with horses.
oh, yeah, yeah.
When did Grandpa Baker and Mrs. Grandma Baker get married?
Oh,
Do you remember?
no, I don't remember. My brother Bill was the oldest, and he was born in, I think, about 1998, about that time.
1800.
1898, yeah.
1898? Wow.
Yeah.
Now was, and your mother's maiden name?
Vasted. She was a Vasted. She come from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
She came from Brooklyn.
She was a city girl coming to the country?
Yeah.
God bless her.
Did she tell you any stories about the difference between the city and the country here? Did she ever talk about that?
Never talked about it, no. No, she made out very good though. She raised the chickens, set the hens. And she made out very, there was what was it, 5 boys and a girl in my family.
5 boys and a girl.
Uncle Bill was the oldest?
He was the oldest.
What did he do when he grew up?
What did he do? He was a civil engineer and surveyor.
Did he ever survey in South Brunswick?
All over.
Yeah.
He used to be the township engineer in South Brunswick.
Now that was your Uncle Bill,
No,
or
my
your brother,
Bill.
your brother Bill.
Brother Bill was township engineer at South Brunswick, Monroe, Cranbury, all once in a while.
Kinda knew the, now where did he study engineering?
Well, he took a correspondence course,
Wonderful.
and then he started out as an apprentice.
Now who did he apprentice with? Do you have any idea?
Josiah Tice, who was supposed to be the top engineer in New Brunswick
What was his
in
name?
his time. Josiah Tice.
Josiah Tice?
Yep.
Josiah
Out of New
Tice.
Brunswick?
Yeah, oh yes.
Okay.
What's that?
The Baker surveying maps are always the best. They're always right on the dot.
You have the tax map in South Brunswick? He made.
Yeah.
he made that. That's the first one they ever had.
Mm.
And he did one in Monroe many years later.
Now that's your brother Bill.
That's for Brother Bill.
Okay.
Who was next?
You know, he was quite a historian, and he worked with the South Brunswick Historical Society about once a week, and he had a lot of papers that they took, and I don't know what happened to them.
Well,
But they're supposed to be in the library.
he does have a book, doesn't he? That's in the library.
I don't know just what
Did
they
he
have.
publish a book? I don't.
Yeah.
It's a
Plus
hardcover.
there's research, a lot of research papers and,
You
you
don't
know,
know where,
history.
and you don't know where they are.
They were supposed to have been turned over to the South Brunswick Library when he died.
Okay.
I do know Loretta, his daughter, over on George's Road, has some things also
Mhm.
still.
That's good.
So, you know, but he did quite an extensive history,
Yeah,
both
he,
land and people
after
history,
he retired, he was
Land and people.
writing
History.
his.
which is very important. Is
Absolutely.
the land changes usage usually about every 30 to 40 years. So what used to be farmland could now be factories. Uncle Raymond's farm over on George's Road, once he retired from farming, it's now big warehouses and, you know, the auto dealer on 130, that used to be where they would pasture the cows.
Yeah, sure.
You know, run them across 130.
Now, when you were growing up, what did you do for entertainment?
Well, I'll tell you, we had to find our own entertainment. Nobody
Provided.
provided it. So we kids would get together up by Dean Station and find a field that wasn't used and play baseball. But nobody did anything for us. But no head, we'd make our own teams.
Now, did you play in a league in Monmouth Junction?
Oh, yes.
And which, do you remember the teams that were in that league?
Well, yes, there was Helmetta.
Jamesburg?
Old Ridge,
Old Bridge.
Spotswood, over in Franklin, some people from Franklin, and I don't know what all.
Well, now, did you play for Dean's or did you play
I
for
played Monmouth Junction. Dean's never had a team.
Monmouth Junction? And you remember
Monmouth Junction Red Sox.
Red Sox?
Yeah.
Good choice. Do you remember some of the people that played ball for you, with you?
Well, at one time there, Johnny Gorman,
Right?
who was a freshman football coach in Princeton,
Right?
who married a stout girl from Monmouth
Right.
Junction, and he lived there, and he played with us, and the football coach, Fritz Chrysler,
Right?
from Princeton,
A real winner.
one summer he was playing with us. And that year, time we got done, he had all the Princeton players playing.
Oh, I see. Brought in the ringers.
They took him over, yeah. And, you know, they had summer school, and he brought all those people from time the year ended. I was about the only one left of the rest of the bunch.
Uh-huh.
George was a pitcher though.
Yeah, I was,
You were the pitcher?
yeah.
Okay.
Fritz Chrysler was the other pitcher. You remember him?
No, it was before
He was
my
a
time.
Football coach in Princeton, had hot teams. Then he went to Michigan, I think. He was a hot
Yes,
shot. in these
yes.
days.
He was an excellent coach and one very, very renowned coach in football.
That's
And-
right.
all
When
the-
Princeton was a big time.
Yes, big time teams.
Yeah, a big time team in those days.
Do you remember the Santa with Tony? You remember Tony?
I remember Nick even playing.
Okay.
And he thought he was about the end of his Nick and Tony and Who else?
Art?
I don't know whether Art was playing or not.
Mr.
What's that
Fage.
one? Yeah.
Joe?
Joe didn't play, no.
Or Leo?
Leo, they didn't
No,
play.
they didn't play.
Leo was gone, I guess. He never ran.
Ah,
I don't know where he got to.
mhm.
But Nick was a very good friend of mine.
Did my dad play with you?
No, Mike played before that. They had teams before that, but he had a big family started,
Yes,
and
he
he didn't
did.
want to get hurt.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was a catcher,
Right.
and you got hurt, and there's a big family. So he didn't play well. I never played with him.
Uh-huh, so he was
But-
before.
He played, and he had a cousin or something, Bradson.
My brother.
Was it a brother?
My brother.
Your brother?
Sterl?
No, not Sterling. This was before that.
All right, then I don't know that name. I don't know which one it would be. John or
He
Jim?
was an engineer on the railroad.
Marcy?
I forget what his first name was, but he was the pitcher and Mike was the catcher, and they had good teams up there.
And my dad said his glove was just like a dress glove, a leather dress glove. None of these big padded gloves like the catchers use now.
Yeah, I remember him well. And Mike, your father, he liked Freehold.
Yes, he did.
He used to go every day.
Half days, yes.
Half days.
Half
Well,
days
he-
from work.
He
What is
worked
it?
in the morning and go to, yeah,
On his vacation.
for years.
Yes, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did Freehold every day.
Well, you rode a bicycle to Freehold one time to play ball, didn't you, George?
Yeah, I did that.
All the way to Freehold.
Yeah,
Down the railroad, alongside the railroad tracks.
yeah, down the railroad track.
Now your brother Bill was also a pitcher.
Well, he never played much.
Never played much.
None of my brothers played anything about anything.
Uh-huh.
No.
So you were the baseball representative
I
of
was a
Bakers.
baseball player.
You were pretty good, too.
Yeah, I was a big shot in those days.
Yeah.
Was that before or after you married Gwen that you played baseball?
Before.
Once you got married, that was it?
No, I played a couple of years. I played with Jamesburg, too. Jamesburg,
Any place it was a game, right? You were there.
that's right. I played till I was about 32 or something.
Now, did you go on to high school
I went to high school for 3 years
in New Brunswick?
in New Brunswick. You take the train, Dean Station, go to New Brunswick, a mile to the train, walk another mile from the station to school.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Dean's Pond Mill there when you were little?
Yeah,
You remember that?
oh yeah, yeah, Dean's Pond. They was working there, I guess, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone now.
No, yeah, everything's gone.
Did you ice skate and fish in Dean's Pond too, or?
No, we had a pond, Davidson Mill Pond, right on the farm,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
That was right, we used
That's
to
right,
pick fish in there,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Right on the pond. Yeah, we go down there and throw in line. Dean's Pond, Davidson Mill Pond.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the dam broke and it was out of water for a good many years. And then some guy with a lot of money, Nixon I think his name was, he rebuilt the dam and everything, turned it over to the county.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a
Beautiful.
nice lake again.
So you went 3 years to high school and then you joined the surveyors and engineers.
That's right.
Mhm.
And been there for 50 years, I guess.
So you saw a lot of change now.
Oh,
Would you like to start what it was like when you first started to work?
now everything is different. We used to have to measure everything with a tape.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do it all with lights.
Lasers.
Yeah,
Lasers
Lasers and satellites.
yeah,
and satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, everything is
Sat
different.
stuff now, and it's like, they're so precise now. You can be within a foot of where they're supposed to be.
A lot less walking.
Yeah, that's right. It takes all of dirty work out of it.
Did you used to use those brass markers, surveying markers? Or was that before brass?
Brass markers.
You used the brass or iron bars?
We use everything. We use
Tree in the
that-
middle of the road?
We, iron pipe, wooden stakes.
Yeah. Do you remember when they were building Kendall Park? Did you survey over there?
Our office did all the work there,
Oh, yeah?
Kendall Park. Yeah, that was one of the first developments.
Now, is that Baker surveying, or did you work for someone?
Well, it was
For partners,
Raymond P. Wilson,
right?
and then my brother Bill, they were